In the darkness of the old Victorian manor, the candle flickered, casting eerie shadows on the walls. The wind outside howled like a banshee, rattling the windows and causing the curtains to billow like ghostly apparitions. The inhabitants of the manor had long since retired to their chambers, but one person remained awake, the young governess who had recently been hired to care for the master's children. As she sat by the fire, reading a book, she heard a creaking sound coming from the hallway. She tensed up, her heart racing as she listened for any other sounds. Suddenly, she heard footsteps. Slow, measured footsteps, as if someone was pacing back and forth in the hallway. Her mind raced with fear as she imagined all sorts of horrors lurking outside her door. Then, without warning, the footsteps stopped. The silence was deafening, and the governess was sure that she could hear her own heartbeat thudding in her chest. She summoned all her courage and slowly got up from her chair, holding her breath as she approached the door. With a trembling hand, she reached for the doorknob and slowly turned it, pushing the door open with a creak. There, standing before her, was a figure she could barely make out in the dim light. It was a woman, dressed in a long, flowing gown, her face obscured by a veil. The governess stepped back in fear, but the figure did not move. Instead, it held out a bony hand, beckoning her closer. With shaking legs, the governess stepped forward, her eyes fixed on the mysterious figure. As she drew closer, the figure spoke, its voice low and raspy. "I have been waiting for you," it said. "Waiting for someone to release me from this curse that has plagued me for centuries. Will you be the one?" The governess screamed and ran back into her room, locking the door behind her. She could hear the figure's laughter echoing through the halls as she huddled in fear, praying that morning would come soon and banish the horrors of the night.